All right, so it's end of the year. This video will be live on Christmas Day, and it's been a tradition around here that Christmas Day is my favorite games of the year list time. I've done this the past several years. When I do my videos on my channel, I try to not give opinions. I fail at it sometimes, but I do my best to just play the game and just opinion free. This is my time to be opinionated. So I've got a list of 11 games. All these games are full releases, and then I've got 5 early access games that I really like. And I'm going to mention that I'm going to go through my 5 early access ones. Then we'll stream into the full release ones that I like. We'll do a countdown style, you know. For some reason, these videos always get a bunch of like outside my typical channel viewers for some reason. So I'll start this off by saying this is just games that I find fun. I don't have any sort of reason other than these are the ones I enjoyed. These are the games that I played this year. And also, I play a different game every year, or every day, mostly. And so I don't put a lot of time into these games, into most of these. And so just getting that out there. So I'm not having like hundreds of hours. Well, a couple of these I do, but no, I don't have hundreds of hours in most of them. I've got, 10 hours in a game is a good amount for me on most of them. So anyway, all the yammering aside, let's go through the list. I'm going to start off with my five early access games that I am really looking forward to seeing the full release thing. And if I had allowed it, these could have easily fit themselves into my list. But I tried to keep them all at full release games. So, number 5 of the early access, I got Farthest Frontier. This is a colony builder, something like Banished. It's New Banished, basically. We set out kind of a medieval setting, and let me a little further past that. But this one came out in August, and it's one of those where it starts out real difficult. You kind of work your way up with farming and all that, and it's nothing like difficult about it, and I kind of it's very a serene village builder, Banished style. We've been looking for like a Banished 2.0 for a long time, and I think this one fits is getting to the point of fitting that. Farthest Frontier by Crate Entertainment, and I'm looking forward to this one for a while. And when it came out, I was pleasantly surprised, or I was happy with it. Number 4 on the early access, I've got Cosmeteer, Architect, and Commander. These are not in any order. These are just the 5 early access ones. Cosmeteer is one I played back in 2017 or something like that. You take your ship, you build your ship out of different parts, and then you scream across the galaxy, kind of like almost action RPG style, in a spaceship. But whenever you destroy ships, you can go collect their pieces and rebuild your ship. There's also like an automation system you can put into your ships. This one came out here finally in early access here just back in October. And if you're into space games and if you're into like flying one ship around space games, then I highly recommend Cosmeteer. If you like, it's like what's a good comparison be like FTL. FTL meets, like, I don't know, a space sim. There you go. By Alternate Realities, and you can jump to different systems. And same thing, you start out with enough tiny ship, you work your way up into a bigger ship, bouncing from point to point. Things blow up, and you have sort of the automation within this ship. You've got like people working, so you got a bridge, you've got the power needs to get pulled to the batteries, and yeah, Factorio. That's what you go. FTL meets Factorio. Perfect. Thank you, But yeah, and then of course you can scrap the ships and then strap them onto your own ship and keep building from there. Next on the early access list is Stardeus. This one kind of fits the same sort of idea as something like RimWorld, but you're on a spaceship. And it's still pretty early. It just came out just in early access just very recently. But I've played a couple of these sort of spacey colony builder type things, and none of them have been. Yeah, they've all been kind of okay. This one did it for me, and the thing that I liked about it so much was rather than just being RimWorld in space, it had kind of like the same as kind of Cosmeteer, where you could like sort of there's different pieces of ships out there, and you can fly different places. You can strap those pieces of ship to your ship and fly on. You're like the AI of the ship, and you got humans running around trying to manage the human things while you're trying to manage the robots and the drones. You can fly to different galaxies. Stardeus, there you go. I got an emote for that one even. By Kodo, there's the dev right there. I think he programmed he's always streaming the programming part of the game. But yeah, I'll be happily be playing this one for probably years to come, assuming the development keeps up, and it seems like it is going that way. Next up, we've got I wanted to get a roguelike in there. I play a lot of roguelikes, and by roguelike I mean like the traditional style, turn-based, run around the map. There's one called Stone Shard that came out a few years ago, early access. But it's very slow going. It's also really difficult. This is a similar style. You're just a hero venturing out into the world, turn-based style, but it's not as difficult and punishing as Stone Shard is. I played it a couple streams back, for a couple streams, and there's also an overworld you can bounce from different places on the map. It's very open world as well, and be a hero, collect things up, learn how to read, and venture out traditional roguelike style. And it's been one of the I really like things like Cataclysm and Tome. The other one just left my mind. Adam, that's another one. And this one, I haven't had a new roguelike that I really got into. I like this one quite a bit. So there's Doors of Trithius, which I guess came out last year in early access. And my final early access one, which this next one, I almost put it into my top 10 list because I would probably put this as number 2 on my top 10 list. But it's early access, so I didn't. Is Delta V Rings of Saturn. This is a very slow-paced game. It's very so you're at Saturn's rings, and you got to send your guy out to go out and mine. You collect minerals up, you come back, you sell the minerals. Sounds kind of boring, and it's a very slow-paced thing. It's a very physics-based thing as well. And what keeps you hooked though is the I guess the mysteries of the belts. Just every once in a while, you'll just sort of have things popping up in the belts, like you'll have a station, or I don't want to spoil anything. Just weird things happen out there. Also, of course, you can hire a crew. You can rebuild your ship. You can buy new ships. It's very much I guess I don't know if realistic is the word, but sci-fi, like hard sci-fi game. And hard sci-fi is hard to do and hard to keep interesting. But I think they're doing a very good job of it with Delta V. This one came out 2019. I think I played it even earlier than that. It's been out for a while by Codera Software. And I think this is just one person working on this one as well. Anyway, that is my final early access one on my list. So let's go to the list. This one is a countdown, sort of. I had a really difficult time this year of figuring out what I wanted to do, what I wanted to put on this list, because I played probably about 300 different games for the channel this year, and there was a lot of really good stuff in there, and also a lot of things that I've been playing for a long time, like years before, finally hit full release this year, and so I had to get them in there somewhere, and so number 3 through 11 all can be probably intermingled throughout the list. So let's go to number 11, Vampire Survivors. I'm not a fan of these kinds of games, and I didn't even really think about playing this game until I saw everyone was playing this game and saying, "Hey, Nook, have you played Vampire Survivors? It's really good." And everyone was playing it, so I thought, okay, fine. I'll play a little bit of it. I had no intention of even doing like a video of it for YouTube. I thought I'll mess with it for 20 minutes on stream just so I can see what this thing's all about. What I play like 2.5 hours worth or something like that. This is it's like a it's almost like a game jam game that, of course, has become much more than that. But it's such a simple thing. But they've got that hook in there, the roguelite hook in the game so well, that where you play for 5 minutes and you think, okay, and you die. You're like, okay, I'll one more round. One more round, and then one more round later, 3 hours later, you're still playing the game. By Punkle, that's the name of the dev. Yeah, and it's super cheap. What's it? $3, $4? It's on sale right now. $5 normally. And they just put out a big update, right? Is it a DLC? Yeah, a DLC just came out for it. I haven't played the DLC yet. So there you go. I got 2.5 hours. I played for 2.5 hours. So, but yeah, very, very, very simple. But it has sort of that similar tug as an auto battler. Yeah, where you finish one round and you get perks, which adds into the next round, and then but it does it really well, and you can tell how well this game has done, just by how many of these style of games have come out in the past year. Next, we have Kenga, Seeds of Civilization. Kenga's a funny one. I play, again, a lot of colony builders, and what I like about Kenga is that it's so weird, and it's a tribal village builder, but you can ride crabs, you can bring in snails. I don't know where to start with this. It can be a little frustrating, as you can tell by the reviews, and it can be a little buggy for sure. But what a weird game, and anything that takes the colony builder style, which I play a lot of, and then makes it really weird. That's what we got here. We have a village elder and all of our tribe around it, and then you just basically try to complete what's the word I'm looking for? You have a goal you have to complete, and then you can continue on. But yeah, this one wins the Bizarre Award for sure, and it's so crazy, and I love how weird it is, and I hope the dev sticks with it. It hit 1.0 here in December, and but it could certainly use a little bit. There's a little bit of a little buggy and just a little bit frustrating with how things sort of the RNG can treat you. But when it treats you right, it's fantastic. All right, what are we on now? This is on number 9. I could not have a list without Monkey Island. I'm not sure Monkey Island counts as a. I mean, sure, it counts as an indie game. Does it count as an indie game? I mean, it's only made by a couple people. But I couldn't not have Monkey Island in there. As much as I was confused by the ending, but I suppose it wouldn't be Monkey Island if I was not confused by the. I'm not sure what my negatives went in there, but yeah, Monkey Island, point and click adventure. You're a pirate, good stuff. I don't know if I would recommend this though if you hadn't played the other ones. I know that was one of the things. Yeah, Devolver's big stuff. I think I would say play number 1 and number 2 and number 3 first before getting in here. I think that's probably a better. Yeah. Whatever. Let's move on with Monkey Island. Number 8, we're going to Fabled Lands. This one was a book. I guess it was a book series that I never played. I never read. And yeah, I wish I had, because it's sort of like it's a create your own adventure. It's a very open world create your own adventure, and this is one of those games that if you are a fan of like D&D, then this is one that you would probably enjoy. Narrative heavy, but very open, and so and then of course what the choices you make in that narrative affects the game pretty heavily, from what I understand. There's a sort of turn-based battle thing. There's nothing like new or there's nothing new about the mechanics of the game that's anything special, but the openness of the open worldness of the game, and being a narrative game that's open and like that is what I find fascinating about this one. I don't know how many books there are in the series, but I've been meaning to go and look at them, and I still never have. But this one just came out full release here this year. Complete Quests, yeah, it's for D&D nerds. Really, it's a D&D nerd kind of game if you are into that kind of stuff, single player style. All right, so what are we on? That was number 8. So our number 7, which is Old World, which just came out full release this year. Old World is, I'm a big Civ fan. I've always been a big Civilization fan, and but what I would do in Civilization is I start a game, I play for a little bit, I play for a day or however long, and then I say, well, I'll start a new game, and because I really like the ancient era stuff, ancient up to maybe medieval era stuff. And this one focuses on that. So it's Civ if it was focused on that era. There's a lot of like Crusader Kings kind of family dynasty kind of stuff in there as well, which is kind of neat. Which kind of gets you more involved in like the characters and the families and all that, and your nobles and things. But it's essentially Civ with an ancient era focus. And they do a good job of it because it's fleshed out much more than what Civ Ancient Era is. And yeah, there's Old World by Mohawk Games and Hooded Horse. Number 6, I had to get a space game in here, and Star Valor is it. This is a very arcadey style game. Probably the closest thing we'll find to like I also asked all the time when I play Star Sector, if there's a game like Star Sector but you're just one person. And I think this probably qualifies as that. You can go from system to system, and you're just one ship. You can hire a few more to go fly along with you, but essentially you're one ship, action art, like Diablo in space style of space game. Of course, you can build your ship up, you can trade, you can buy new ships, and the dev gave me like a save with like a big battleship, and that was fantastic. But there's Star Valor, which came out full release this year in August by Rafael Burgos, which again, solo dev on this one. And on sale right now. Oh, the other reason I like to get these videos out around Christmas time because there's a Christmas special going on. Next up, we have Heroes Hour. Heroes Hour is what's the game? Heroes of Might and Magic. No. Yes, Heroes of Might and Magic. That's what it is. Heroes of Might and Magic, but pixel style. I don't know what else to say about that. So it's a fantasy empire kingdom thing. There's a whole bunch of different empires in here, demons and elves and all that kind of stuff. And you have sort of an overworld, and when you go into fighty mode, you go into auto battler fighty mode. Of course, your heroes level up. You start getting bigger armies, and you can kind of see the maps down. Well, my head. There you go, down in there. But it's a fantasy empire building Heroes of Might and Magic game, pixel art style. Came out for release, and I think he's working on a DLC for it. Working on something update. I don't know what it is. But I've been messing with this one for quite a while in early access. I think I put this on one of my favorite games list for a while. But if you're into like strategy, turn-based strategy, but you also kind of like the auto battler stuff, and that's what this one is. It's turn-based on the overworld, and then when you go into fighting mode, you go into just auto battler. There's a bunch of pirates fighting on a pirate ship, and you've got some god powers, so you can kind of mess with it a little bit, but for the most part, that's all auto battler, so it plays out pretty quickly. But I've streamed this one many times, and again, one done by I believe one person. Goblins is publishing it, but I think Benjamin Hauer, I think it's just one person. He may have more now, but I'm pretty sure it's just the one. But there is Heroes Hour, which is number 5. Number 4. I'm going to say the name. Don't laugh at me. Vinkeltia. Maybe Winkeltia. The Little Shop. This is one of those games that's very casual style. Very laid back. We're running a shopkeep. It's fantasy style. And it's got kind of that progression thing. You start out with this little rinky-dink shop selling like, I don't know, a boot or something. And but then as time goes on, customers come in every day. You build up your boot shop into making legs, or not legs. You make pants. You make shirts. Maybe you make some bread, and eventually the store kind of grows. And so it's kind of like it's a shopkeeping game, and then also kind of a base building thing, I guess, all in one, because you're also got farming going on. You can see here they got like an alchemy shop in the back, and so between days you build all your stuff, or you craft all your stuff, and then you put it on display, and then the sellers, the peasants come in and you sell to them. There's not a whole lot of complexity to this, but it's a very laid back kind of sailing kind of thing, medieval style, sort of medieval. It's medieval style, I suppose. I was gonna say fantasy style, and I guess because you got alchemy, but yeah, that one wins the casual award. Moving on. Winner number 3 is Tiny Folks. I didn't play this one long. You can see an hour and a half on this one, but my hour and a half was fantastic. It's again sort of, I guess, same vein as like the Vampire Survivors, where it's very, very cheap. What's this game? $3, $2 right now. You get a base and you build your base up. You add new units in, and those units go out and from point to point, and you kind of run through. I think it's kind of auto battler. No, it's not about it. It's just Slay the Spire, I guess, style, running through and sort of conquering your way through the place. I would be lying if I didn't say that a good part of my review for this one, and the reason I like the game so much, was the soundtrack. So, yeah, it's just a cheap little party-based builder thing, turn-based, by again one guy, with overwhelmingly positive reviews on this one. And I think you can buy the sound. Can you buy the soundtrack on here? Yeah, you can buy the soundtrack. I own this. Do I own it? I don't own the soundtrack. I should get the soundtrack. Anyway, there is Tiny Folks. Good stuff. Number 2, Dwarf Romantic. Dwarf Romantic was on my list last year. This one cheated a little bit because it was so good, even in early access. They made like a board game now, which isn't available in the US. I think it's only available in Germany. This is my game. This is my when I'm sick and or if there's days I just don't feel like playing anything, and I just want to sit in here and not think and just dabble away with a game. This is the game that I play. Dwarf Romantic. Kind of like Carcassonne, but you're building a town. And you got these hex tiles, you place them out, you build your town, and it's just kind of casual. You get little points and all that. You unlock new things as you play. Tile laying game. And it is by Tucana, which is not a solo dev. I think there's a few of them on this one. This one was this a student game? I think it maybe not. I maybe think it's something different. It's pretty small when I first played it, but they've added new biomes and things in there, and it's become this thing. And if anyone's played the board game, which I think is out now, I want to hear about it. I want pictures. I want to see it because I want to play it. Yeah, students made this one. Okay, yeah, good stuff. So it puts us at number 1. But before I get to number 1, you can't. I've seen these lists before. You can't just jump to number 1 like some scrub. You got to tease with a special side note, and that special side note is RimWorld, the new DLC. I'm putting it in here because the new DLC alone was changed the game quite a bit. The biotech where you can add like the kids and the families, and that plus you get the vampire additions to it. That alone, I think, is if you buy any of the DLC, I think the biotech one is the one to get. RimWorld, of course, Colony Sim, sort of like Dwarf Fortress, but not quite as good, but pretty good. And sci-fi style. But the new update, the new DLC adds in. What was the other one? We've got all the different races and things. I haven't even looked at the new workshop stuff that's been added in there, because you've got like different races in there now, and so you can have like dwarves or whatever in here. But But yeah, if you get RimWorld, which is I'll put this in there because anytime anyone asks me, what game should I get? Nook. RimWorld is always my number one thing to say because you'll put a few hundred hours into a base game, and then you can go to the mod store you can go to the workshop, and you can get a few more 100 hours out of it with all the different mods that are in the game. So this is one of those games that I think everyone would like. If you're anything like me, I guess, sort of city builder kind of thing. All right, number 1. Now you might be kind of surprised by this one. Dwarf Fortress. It's been if I had a list, one of these days I'll do a top 10 list of my favorite games ever. RimWorld would be on there. I think Dwarf Fortress is going to be number 2. I think nothing is going to top the original XCOM. But Dwarf Fortress is good stuff, and most certainly a better game. If you don't know what Dwarf Fortress is, well, then you haven't been around my channel for long. The colony builder, right? We're a bunch of dwarves. We settle into the mountains, and we build ourselves a fortress. It's about as simple as that, just with a whole lot more depth. Yeah, it's on Steam now, and I get asked this question all the time. How do you like the Steam release? I love it. I don't see a reason to ever go back to the old version. Except for like maybe free games a month, just for the funsies. But I like the new graphics. I like the mouse clicks. There's a couple things that I miss, but not enough to like to want to go back. Yeah, makes me want to play the game right now. Let's play some Dwarf Fortress. It's late. It's my bedtime. So I've used this to make a D&D world. I should go add up how many hours of Dwarf Fortress I have on my channel. I know I have over 100 videos, and most of those videos are about 3 to 4 hours long. So many hours of Dwarf Fortress, and it is my number 1. I've been wanting to put Dwarf Fortress on my list for a long time, but but it's never been a good excuse to put it on my list because it's not out or it's in early access, so there's no update or whatever. Now I have it, so finally I can put Dwarf Fortress in my list. All right. Well, you've asked for a dad joke, so I'm going to give you one. I'm going to answer your question here in a second. So I gotta find you a good one. It's Christmas time, and I was running around, and I had to go get a Christmas card. Well, so I went to the Hallmark store, and as I step outside the Hallmark store, Dwayne Johnson is standing there. Believe it or not. You could say I was caught between The Rock and a card place. What's the best strategy game for beginners? I suppose it depends on what kind of... I don't know. I suppose it depends on what kind of strategy game you want to look for. I would say if you like Dwarf Fortress, but it's too much. Then to ease you into Dwarf Fortress, I would say something like Keeper RL. I think Keeper RL is a great, it doesn't have the depth of Dwarf Fortress. It's a very simplified version, but it's similar style. You build into a mountain. Just look at chat. You build a mountain, you build your kingdom up or whatever, and but it's a very simplified version. So if you're into Dwarf Fortress, but it's just too much, then Keeper RL is I think the game for you. If you're into a little more like empire building kind of game style things, Hero's Hour might be a good one for that. Or Conquest of Elysium is a good one. It's ugly. The Conquest of Elysium is very ugly, but it's a good starter one for that type of thing. Yeah, RimWorld. Yeah. Keep Royale, I think, is the better intro one. Master of Magic. I haven't played the new Master of Magic since it came out. I played the beta, but I haven't played the new one, so I can't get. I didn't put that on my list for that reason. I enjoyed it at the beginning, and Master of Magic is also a good. If you're looking for like an empire building thing, Master of Magic is a good intro strategy game as well. There you go. There is my top 11, plus or minus a few, games of 2022. If you have any questions, if you can say it here, if you're in chat here, you can say it now. But if you're on the YouTube channel, you can ask them in the comments. And I want to hear what everyone else's favorite games of the year were. That's what I want to hear. So I'm curious about that. So there you go. It was hard. It was really difficult to like narrow this down because there's so many good stuff this year. Like Bear and Breakfast was good stuff. I really want to put that one in there, but I didn't put that one in there. You think Master Magic's your favorite? Is one of your favorites for the year? The new one? I just played the beta, the open beta, the beginning playtest that they had a while back. I haven't played it because I just played that recently, so I haven't played the full version yet. Saving that for a stream. But a lot of village builders, a lot of colony builders this year, and a lot of the same game. I should preface this with if there's a video on my YouTube channel, I like the game, and I really enjoy colony builders. And there's been a lot of them that have been very similar this year, though. That's probably the reason that Kanga made its way to the list, because Kanga's so weird and so different. And so it's a colony builder, but big twist on it. And yeah. Anyway, there we go. There is the top list for 2022. Symphony of War. I almost put that one. I was so close. So close to putting that one in there as well. That one, I didn't play a lot of it. I played it for a couple hours. This is one of those games where I came in, I was going to play for 30 minutes just to make a YouTube video. Just to kind of, get into the game, but I ended up playing for a couple hours. I'm not a big JRPG fan, but I don't know, somehow this one hooked me. And I think it was just like, because on the overworld, you've got your... I like the overall version. You get your armies that go in, and then of course you go into battle mode style. I don't know. I like this one a lot, and I played it for a couple hours. And again, this isn't my style. I don't like. I'm just not normally a fan of this kind of art style and just normally the style of game. But I did like that one quite a bit. Yeah, War Groove style. Yeah, that one was a really good one. It probably deserves a list. It probably does deserve a point on my list. Ooh, people like it a lot. But yeah, I didn't put it in there. I only put a couple hours into it, which I guess I only put a couple hours in Tiny Folks, but I didn't get it in there. The Heroes Might Magic clone was Heroes Hour. I played Founders for I did play Founders Fortune recently, didn't I? Songs of Conquest, is that one out for release? Yeah, early access. I'm waiting for I haven't played it since it came out. I'm waiting for some updates. It was too hard. I got destroyed in this game. Every time I played it, I got whooped. But yeah, this is a good one too. This is very Heroes Might Magic as well. Like Heroes Hour or Heroes Might Magic. Very similar style. You got a hero, you go on the map, and then you go into turn-based mode, hex-based combat when you go into there. But you claim like gold mines or whatever. But yeah, and it's got look at the pixel arts. Good stuff. Yeah, this one's pretty good too. I played it for how long? 5 hours. That's pretty good for me. All right, I need to go to bed. It's my bedtime. Merry Christmas. It is Christmas Eve today. I won't be here tomorrow. Tomorrow is Christmas, so I won't be here.